this is what makes hockey fun. And again, in-state rivals. You're in the same conference. You've played, I don't know how many games we played against each other. I'm sure, Schultz, you've got the fact check and, at a couple 100, 300 times, whatever it's been. But we have played each other a lot. And think of the games, the big games that we've played against each other. And I'm going all the way back to the small college days. Small college days, it was a heck of a rivalry. And same thing it's been, at the Division I level. There was just a few years when we were still Division II and they went Division I where obviously that stopped a little bit. But overall, again, it was a good 25 to 30 year rivalry, and now it has been for the last probably 15 years again. And this is what makes, again, I'm going to say, it makes sports fun. I don't care if it's Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Mississippi, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. I look at Minnesota State, Mankato, and Bemidji as just a great in-state rivalry, and I feel that they make us better, and I hope we make them better. And I think I know Mike Hastings and I talked about that all the time, that we make each other better, and they're just fun games. And there's those games you put on you put a little asterisk on the schedule because again they're just fun, they're exciting, and again I think that's. That's what makes, again, college sports fun, but especially for us right now, college hockey fun.
How important was it to bounce back with a win on Saturday at Ferris?
It was a big win. I mean, you want to get that road win on Friday, because now you got hay. You got that hay in the barn right there. But it was a big win, and the guys responded. And we weren't happy with, a lot of the things that went on Friday night. But again, Saturday they responded, and it was a big win. And now we just got to move forward.
Yuri's really coming into his own, and he's always had that, kind of offensive upside. But now it's starting to show in the stat sheet. Just talk about his game.
Well, I'm happy for Yuri. Yuri's not only an unbelievable kid, but he's got unbelievable passion for the game of hockey. Yuri's the guy that every Sunday, you want to come in at 3:00, Yuri's in here stretching. Yuri's in here working out. You want to make sure before practice, you go in the weight room, Yuri's working out. After practice, Yuri's working out. Like, Yuri is committed to being the best hockey player he possibly can be, on the ice and off the ice. And that's why you want to see those guys get rewarded. And Yuri had a heck of a weekend. He deserved the Offensive Player of the Week in our league. And I'm really happy for the start. Because last year, I don't think he got his first goal last year until that game in Mankato. I think the game that we won in Mankato on Saturday night, I think was his first game, and I don't know what game that was. That might have been game 13, 14, whatever it was. But I'm happy for Yuri because, again, he sure puts in the work.
Does that kind of trickle down from some of those leadership qualities that makes him one of the leaders in the Capitals on this team?
Well, I think that's what people recognize. I mean, Yuri's a man of few words. He's a man of few words, but again, he lets his words do the talking in the weight room and on the ice. And again, I just love how he prepares. He just prepares, and I wish we had 27 guys that prepared like him, because he's at a different level. He's the consummate pro on how he prepares and how he conducts himself.
We talked a little bit before this started about just kind of the role that Minnesota State's been on, and part of that too is they have a goalie with 94% save percentage and some of the best numbers across the country. What's the key to just sparking this offense, even with their solid defensive play and goaltending?
Yeah, who knows? Again, at the end of the day, we got to worry about. We got to worry about us. I haven't even watched much of Minnesota State Mankato, but I know what I'm going to say. I know what I'm going to see. I'm going to see a team that obviously plays tremendous defense. Obviously has good goaltending, plays tremendous defense. It's hard to play against. There's no question. I know what I'm going to see, and that's them to a T right now. And what they've accomplished early on in the year, being 5-3, being the teams that they beat. I mean, right now they're the best team in our league. And they've shown that over the course of 8 weeks, and we've got our work cut out for us. We know that, but again, that's what these games have been year in and year out. They've been these kind of games, and if you take a look over the course of the last 10 years, this is what Mankato. Anytime we're playing Mankato, I mean, they've been in first place, or they've won 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. They've had goaltending and great team defense for years, and And they obviously too, they've got enough talent where they can get to 3 as well. So they got both areas covered.
To team too, the last time they came in this building, McNaughton Cup was on the line, and it was a pretty fun weekend for you guys.
It was a great weekend last year. It was nice winning the McNaughton Cup at the end of the year, and it was really nice winning that last game of the year after we clinched. I thought our guys responded well on Saturday, but again, that was last year. And again, I hate to always dwell on that. I don't want to dwell on last year because I haven't thought about last year. I just think about this year, and that's what we do as coaches and players. We don't worry about what happened in the past, good or bad. We just move forward because every game is different. Every week is different, and sometimes, and your teams are different, and psychologically your teams can be different. There's just a lot of things that play into it. So, and this is this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the toughest month I think I've ever had as a head coach. The month of November is going to be a bear, and it's going to start off with our rival, Minnesota State Mankato.
When you talk about just the toughest month, right? How much of it is just the guys staying focused on the next task at hand instead of the collective of tasks?
Well, they will. I mean, again, that's me bringing this up in a press conference. This is lip service at a press conference more than anything. The guys are just worried about Mankato, as I am too. But it's just adds to to the press conference and the media hype of this month, and But it starts with our rival this weekend.
Yeah, it's easy to get up for games like these, especially with just the history between the two teams, especially, since I've been here, obviously, like that Mason Cup final a few years ago and then winning the McNaughton last year against them. There's a big rivalry between the two of us, so really easy to get up for these games. Super excited for it.
Last weekend was kind of good and bad, right? You get a split out in Ferris, but you really looked like you whooped back against Duluth. You kind of came back into what, did you kind of feel that too? Yeah,
I think just coming off that bye week, you kind of have to, early in the season, you had to find yourself back in a rhythm. So first game, obviously, just myself obviously included in the whole team, we just kind of had to get that one out of the way and then, respond to a challenge of getting after it the next night and finding our game. So it was a great step in the right direction, of course. So
this is a kind of a nice goalie matchup this weekend. Yeah. Alex Tracy's been outstanding. You have obviously really good numbers yourself. Just talk about the depth of goaltending in this conference right now, because again, even with a lot of that goalie turnover, it still is kind of every team's got a good goalie.
Right, like you said, every team's got a good goalie. So any time you get a match up against a great goaltender like him, it's an opportunity for you to elevate your game as well. So I know you've seen over the last however many years, you get McKay, Pietla, all these guys. It's definitely a good line of goalies at each school. So happy to have that competition, and it's exciting to get to play against that every weekend.
You look back at this point in the year last year, and there were some pretty big struggling points, right? Power play, penalty kill. Right. But the penalty kill is much, much better at this point in the year, this year, than it was last year. Yeah. You get a front row seat for that. What is kind of the success behind the penalty kill right now?
I think just experience really is what comes down to it. Obviously, it's early in the year, and Mankato's going to give a pretty good test when the time comes when we're on a penalty kill. But I think that's probably the number one thing. You got a lot of returners that are now upperclassmen, like juniors and seniors. So that's really all. It's probably the biggest thing is just experience, kind of knowing the system that we're trying to play on each special team situation. So that's the biggest thing for sure.
Last time Mankato was in this building was a pretty fun weekend for you guys. What do you remember from that weekend, and just kind of how much of a chip on Mankato's shoulder can it give them?
Yeah, I think we watched them hoist McNaughton on their home ice a couple years prior. So that fueled us, obviously going into our next few seasons. So I can imagine that they're going to have a chip on their shoulder, as every team wants to win the McNaughton. So that was an unreal weekend, really special. Just how everything played out. Sweeping those guys obviously felt really good, and the whole thing with Gavin last year in that last game. That's probably what I remember most. Having Gavin go in for that that second game, and just earning back-to-back shutouts. It was a cool thing to be a part of, and it was awesome to hoist a trophy for our fans.
This is kind of the start of a really important month for you guys against a lot of really good teams. Just talk about how you guys keep things in perspective.
Just one game at a time. That's all you can really do. We know like a season flies by. Really, like it goes quick. You don't realize it in the moment. But number one, most important thing is just like you said, staying present. Just focusing one shift at a time, one play at a time. I know it's cliche, but it's really all you can do. You can't look too far ahead. You gotta be aware of what's in front of you. Like you said, every team that we're going to play this month is really, really good, and it's a huge opportunity for us to get some really big wins.